How we doing? Woman Crush Wednesday. Oh my god, I have an amazing, amazing female joining us. This episode is getting you hooked up thanks to Gym Plus Coffee. Love their gear. Their gear is great. Sustainable. Check them out. Check them out. We have a really cool guest today. Her name is Melissa Chataigne. Chataigne, actually. And her and I have become really close friends as of late. Hair's wild today. We're just going with the wild hair. And that's okay. I love it. But super excited to join in. She is a fabulous celebrity stylist / TV host.
Hi.
Her and I. Hi, my girl. How are you?
I am so good. Hi.
Aww.
Getting situated. Sorry, I'm trying to...
Same. Let me fix this angle here.
Yeah, trying to fix the angle. I'm trying to not look like a crazy person. Let me.
Today was
Oh,
crazy.
I got a filter. Oh, look at that. Smooth it out.
Fabulous. Well, you look absolutely divine.
Oh,
and you just are divine.
You are divine. You inspire me so much. You're such a badass. I have a girl crush on you, and I'm so honored to be here.
Well, thank you, my queen. You and I have become actually really close friends recently through our exchanged grief. Chelsea Cannell, who is actually on.
I love you, Chels. I mean, talk about a powerful woman who just is like the nucleus of all amazing things. That girl is such a bright light, and I love her so much, and she just brings so much light to other people, but she truly is like a nucleus. Like, I love her. She inspires so many women, and wow. And
she does.
Let's just say that, like, in the hosting world, there's not a lot of women that are like, let me connect you here, let me connect you there, let me lift you up, let me watch your reel, let me give you notes. And she does that, and it's like, wow. So
she does.
A little bit.
No, she does, and I'm so glad that we were connected by Chelsea, because she does raise the collective vibe of everybody that she is in alignment with, and we need more of that, right? We need more of women going, hey, by the way, I heard this person was saying like really amazing things about you. I want more of that, rather than, oh, did you hear what Sally said about Susie? I'm just over that. I'm so over this mean girl. And I know that what happens is when you start to raise your own vibe of abundance, you make it really safe for other women to step into it. And then it becomes contagious. So, because I mentor younger women, because I wish I had a mentor in our business. And let's get right into you, because you didn't really have a mentor. You've been a celebrity stylist for 15 plus years, crushing it on the red carpet. You're going to do the Oscars for E. Pinch Me. That's like the pinnacle of like what you do. But you're also a TV host. And I could get into your bio: Access Hollywood, Today Show, E, Daily Pop. You've done everything. But I think the thing that you do best is connect with people, because you've gone through a lot of tragedy yourself. And that's one of the things that I feel like you've really helped show up for me. You and I do rock climbing. We're going to do all kinds of fun dance stuff together. Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we went to that rock climbing, there were young people there, and I really saw how much you lifted other people, and I was like, oh my God, I'm with her. This is my girl. And I really was so honored that you were so loving to these people who were doing this for the first time, because you can get intimidated. Rock climbing is freaking scary. When they were like, you got let go of the rope, Erin, I was like, this is really hard.
I know. It was like so sad.
And then I remember you were on the other side, and you were like, where were you?
Yes. Yeah, well, because for people that don't know, like, you can have someone hold the rope for you as you go down, but they also have this self-belay where you just have your own body weight and, like, rappel off the wall. And I was like, well, I'm a little fixed. so I'll be all right. Like, it'll just be a slow rope going down. I'll be like, my juicy booty will get me. And I came down in like 2.2 seconds, and my heart went through my chest and through my mouth, and I was like, ah! And I'm like, and it was such an experience. And I was like, I didn't realize it was going to be that fast, but it was such a beautiful awakening of your own power and your own speed. And I mean, we've been doing things. You missed the archery last weekend, but like, I like challenging my brain, doing different things, which is helping me overcome the grief, which is why we started this part of our grief group to do these different activities, because it challenges our mind to like navigate different things. So we're not thinking about the pain. We're not thinking about like the sadness. And I like the rock climbing because we have to navigate, okay, how are we going to get up this wall? How are we going to get up this mountain? I liked archery, but like archery is just like, you see the point, you pull back, you do the same thing again. And it's not so much of a workout, but like, I think both you and I are like very type A aggressive, that we're like, we want the challenge. But I definitely want to do rock climbing again. Like I kind of want to join that club because it's the challenge. But you were saying connecting with people, we met these young people that were there. I mean, these kids were like 5 and climbing the wall like it was no big deal. And we met this 13-year-old that really just didn't have many friends, and her mother put her in this to help her build confidence. And I resonated with that because I was really awkward when I was in high school and young, and I was like the only Black girl in like an all-white Catholic school and didn't really find my footing, and ballet was my outlet. But I just felt like I was looking at this little girl like, oh, she was so well spoken and just had like a natural affinity to connect with us. And I was like, girl, you're gonna go far. Don't hang out with those like 13-year-old losers. Like, you go to Euphoria High School. Like, you're gonna be fine when you get older. Don't even stress about it. And it just connecting with her and just being like, you're gonna be an amazing young woman. The fact that you're here and you can connect with us. And she, remember when she told us, she's like, you guys are so cool for being old. Like, all the people that I know that are old are tired, and you guys have so much energy.
That's right. She was saying we should be tired because we're old.
Mm-hmm.
But
like,
that's
because we don't have babies.
Yeah, but she really gravitated to you, and well,
so
us,
cute.
but to you for sure. And that's why I think doing the activities, the new things, is really helpful for us, because we do this grief support group. We've extended it out to other people. We're young to have lost a parent, and you've also lost your sister. That's an intense amount of trauma. I lost 2 brothers and my dad. And the part that is really challenging that you and I have talked about is not only our own grief, but watching the parent that's still, because it's just you, it's just me, like that's it now. Like, I don't have any other siblings, and so it's, the pain is twofold for me, that I'm dealing with it, but I'm also watching my mom deal with it. And that's the part that actually hurts me more, is trying to fix her, trying to make her happy. Like, I know I can't do that, and I always used to think I could if I was like an overachiever when I was young. But that's why I have you, because then I get to call you and say, hey, I'm experiencing this. This is really challenging. And then you don't even need to fix me. You just say, like, you're not alone. And that's why you are so powerful in this space that you are commanding, which we will be talking all about, because I want to hear about your journey. I want to hear about Project Love. I want to hear the transformation that you have created, not just within yourself, but you're giving so many other people permission through inclusivity. So I don't know where you want to start, but you got a lot of things to say. So go for it.
I guess I'll start from some of the beginning. I mean, my parents are Haitian immigrants, and the thought of being a creative just really didn't exist. I don't know if anyone else can relate being an immigrant child, but because our parents fought for coming to this country and having what they have, they wanted a better life for me than what they came from. And so they didn't want me to struggle. So the thought of just being a creative, and they didn't want me to be a starving artist. So everyone in my family is like, doctor, lawyer, executive, and I was like, I want to be a stylist. I want to be a TV host. And I think the only TV host they saw was Oprah, and the thought of being a stylist is like, what is that? Like, what is a stylist? Like, no. And I was dancing classical ballet until I was dancing professionally when I was in high school, and they're like, okay, well, that's nice, you're dancing, but like, you're going to go to college because that's where you'll make money. And so I went to college freshman year being pre-med, and you're going to be a doctor. And I'm like, okay. But once I took my first physiology class, that was like a fail. And so my major was selected for me, and I wanted to be a journalism major, and that was not even acceptable at University of Illinois, which is a great school, but still, it was not something that I could do. So I majored in health administration, graduated, and had this corporate job that I was just all selected for me. And it's interesting now that I'm going back and healing my trauma that I don't remember college. I don't remember really that time. Yes, I was a party girl, and I don't remember it for some reasons, but I blacked out this time because it was like a chore. It was a job that I did to achieve for them, but I don't remember that time for me because it wasn't something that I enjoyed. And going back, it's like, it's interesting that what you choose to remember or not, because it was just something that was like, I had to do. That's another part. But
you basically disassociation. There's like some disassociation there.
Absolutely. Yeah. So much disassociation between my childhood and now, because it just like pushed through. Like I just muted my voice, my throat chakra, and just did the work just to get through it. So I had this corporate job, and I was still dancing on the side with Dancing with Paige, and I tore my Achilles, and I had to leave my corporate job. So I interviewed for a job in California because I'm a corporate boss, and I was so good at interviewing. I got this job. In a month, I relocated to Los Angeles, and I was director of marketing for an assisted living. Part of my relocation package was to live with seniors at this place in Palos Verdes. And so I'm 23, living with 80-year-olds in this gorgeous place in Palos Verdes for 2 months.
Wow.
Imagine that. And relocated to California. Started this great job. And when I was there, I said, okay, this is my time where I'm not, like, I have this great job. I was the youngest person on this team in Southern California. Everyone is in their 40s. I'm 23. And I said, all right, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to, like, become a stylist now. So I decided to network and assist stylists while I had this corporate job. But I didn't let either party know. So I had my day job where I got up and did my calls, called on doctors, case managers, and did my corporate job. And then at night, I would go and assist stylists. I would cover red carpets. And then I started covering red carpets. So I was like one of the first hosts that would like interview Kim and Paris on the red carpet. And they would go into the event and like walk off the back. But I was like, it was like awful recording. It was just like me like, hi, I'm on the carpet. Go WeHo.com. And like, just like, this is baby. This is like when I met Chelsea in hosting class. Like, this is like that long ago. Mm-hmm. This is that. So I eventually like had this like Clark Kent job during the day and like Superman at night, but I just let either party know. And then I was like, I'm going to be the next Rachel Zoe. So then I started styling more celebrities, and still kept my corporate job because I thought my limiting belief was that I couldn't make money unless I had a corporate job, because that was what drilled into me by my parents. And I was incredibly unhappy for a very long time. But until I doubled down on myself and released those limiting beliefs, that's when my career took off. And really found the self-love and respect for myself. That's when it happened. And it was also around that time, unfortunately, 2010 is when my sister took her life. And I couldn't also keep up the facade of like being an image maker for celebrities when oftentimes they have the worst self-image, and I'm perpetuating this false narrative of celebrity and confidence and seeing it fall apart in my own home. So that's when Melissa Chataigne Style was born, where I was just focused on creating and helping elevate women to love themselves through confidence, through style. And that's where it became.
Wow. It is so interesting because you are really, so what I'm working through is, I think we're very similar in that experience, that because we're hosts, broadcasters, reporters, our job is to make everybody else feel really comfortable, like hold space for them. Like you even more so, you're in charge of letting that person feel good in the stuff they're wearing. That's intimate. You know what I mean? That's like, hey, look, you're going to wear this. You look great in it. And you were elevating their style because that's your love. That was like a love language for you. But what I think I struggle with sometimes is I show up for everybody else but Erin sometimes. You know what I mean? So like I think I'm starting to, obviously awaken in that world of like, I think I figured out why I kind of chose this path. Because I love people. But then I get caught up always in someone else's story, and I never make enough room for myself. I mean, the first time I went to see a therapist that I love this therapist, I sat on the edge of the chair, and she's like, "Are you why don't you get comfortable?" And I'm like, I don't want to take up too much. There's like this thing that I have where I don't want to burden people, and it's like, no more of that, right? So I love that for you. You're stepping into kind of understanding the path, the journey, where you came from, owning who you are now, because you do have such a glorious ability of holding space for people and making everyone around you feel so incredible. I mean, that 15-year-old girl who you really connected with in that rock climbing experience, and that's love. You know what I mean? Like, that's love. That's self-care. That's sharing love. That's connecting. And then you had this tragedy with your sister. And born from that, you're creating this platform. I would love to hear you kind of talk more about why you wanted to create Project Love.
Yeah. Well, Project Self-Love really came out of the last few months. I mean, last year, I had this goal in my mind that I wanted to be what I didn't see. Growing up, you didn't see a Black fashion expert on television talking about size inclusivity ever. And I was like, I'm going to be on every top show talking about fashion and making it inclusive and sustainable. And that's like, just didn't happen on television. Yeah. You would watch E! and Style Network and Today's Show. It was always like a skinny blonde, size 2, talking about like trends. And it was never something I could wear or that I was allowed to wear. And you never saw representation. You never saw a Black model. You never just saw that. And I was like, I want to be that change. So then I went in my mind of like, I'm going to do every show. And I burned myself out last year. And the end of the year reels that you see, like everyone's putting out like everything that they did. And I got kind of stuck in that of being like, okay, I've made this reel and I put all this stuff. And I was like, okay, this is ego versus what needs to be done. And I got sucked into ego, and I put out this reel, and I was like sitting on my couch depressed. Where it's like, I did all this stuff, and what do I have to say for it? I'm feeling so empty. My cup is empty. I'm depleted. And I hit this bout of depression where I felt like I've done all this for everybody else, but what do I own? What is mine? And you understand that working for a network, you sometimes, as a host, you don't own any of it unless you're the producer of your own content. And I just feel so depleted of like, what is truly mine? What am I creating that's mine? And also seeing like the girl from Extra that took her life and feeling she had no one to connect with. And we were just connected a few weeks before she took her life. And when she did, it just kind of hit me in like this downward spiral. I had a health scare. I was burned out. I'm stressed about COVID because I work all the time. If I get COVID, I can't work. And I went through depression that no one wants to talk about. And people always see me as like, oh, Melissa, you're killing it. You're on all these shows. You're killing it. And I'm getting like, I almost feel like I was putting out that false narrative of like her life is perfect on Instagram. And I'm like, I'm miserable. And I need to recalibrate this narrative for me. So I am saving my life because I felt like when she jumped, it could have been me. And we talked about it a little bit when we were at the grief group, but I think you weren't there the next meeting. And I legitimately had a breakdown with Chelsea and Lisa. And I said, I need to fix something because I'm not going the right place. So because I'm a type A and I don't want to ever put off the false narrative, I'm the first person to fall on my sword. I said, we need to stop this. I need to stop this right now. And I need to recalibrate. And I created Project Self-Love. And I created, self-love back in the day. I just called it Project Love Yourself Now. It's the self-guided program for me. And created 30 days of small activities, daily rituals to recalibrate my mind, to recalibrate how I feel about myself, recalibrate how I accept myself, give myself more grace, daily mantras, meditations for me, activities for me. And originally it was for the group because you did it in February where we did challenges, group activities, community activities, but now I rebranded it as a self-guided program, but I included more yoga challenges, group activities as more of a self-guided program. So.
Oh my gosh. And it's you being honest, and we talked about this on the phone yesterday, you being honest about your struggle, your journey. Girl, we're all like that. We're all, the voice in my head is the voice sometimes I hate the most because I'll take compliments from everybody else, but I'll linger on my own, they didn't really mean it, or... Yeah. So when you really were authentic and transparent with your own struggles, first of all, I was like, I love her even more. I loved you even more because you allowed us to open into your world, your journey, and that beautiful girl from Extra maybe didn't feel safe talking about what she was going through. And when you see women like you who are at the top, talking about sometimes their struggles, and I talk about my struggles, I hope it's giving other men and women permission to feel less alone, because I think that's what we've all been feeling lately the last 2 years. We're isolated, we're in our heads, we're not getting that social connection that can heal in many ways. And I'm a social person, sometimes. I was a little late today because I had back-to-back coaching sessions because I need to always be busy because stillness is terrifying for me.
How do you do it, girl? Wow.
And that's why our grief groups are so healing, because when I hear you say you're going through it, I'm like, okay, I'm not so alone,
Yeah. And I just don't want people to feel alone. And I'm not, it's not preachy. It's not anything that's not affordable. I always get so irritated when people put out like a thing that's like, it's $300. I'm like, I pay $300 for that. It's literally less than a cup of coffee a day. Like it's $55. So it's like, it's nothing that's so crazy, exorbitant, expensive. It's just an investment in yourself. You can do it in 30 days. Once you download it, you have it forever. You can do it again. You get it straight to your email box. You're not bombarded with 30 emails a day. It's a couple times a week. You get all the videos. You get a whole downloaded calendar, journal, all of it. It's super easy and digestible. And it's made from the heart. It's made from love. And like a lot of people did it and loved it. And I'm just really honored and proud of it. And I'm happy to share it. And everyone that's watching this, you put in the code Women Crush Wednesday gets WCW for code gets 10% off. So boom, gift to all of your people.
Oh, I appreciate it. We'll tag it and we'll make sure to post and promote. If people want to, because they'll be watching this video, how can they learn?
My lunch alarm went off.
Yeah, that's okay. Happens. I get calls. Sometimes
I was like, my alarm went off to remind me to eat because I never remember.
There you go. There you have it. See? Self-love. Yeah. So if people want to learn more about it, how can they sign up?
They can go to my link in my bio.
Okay.
On Instagram, or they can go to melissachataigne.com, and it's the first thing that pops up. Okay. It's like they can learn about on the landing page right there. It's just it's all there, and it's right there for you. So
You are an inspiration. We'll tag it, we'll post it, we'll promote it. People need this kind of stuff right now. They need more self-love. They need more self-care, especially the women, because we don't want to burden people. We don't want to tell people like we're feeling low. Oh, I think we need more of this. We need more of this.
Yeah, don't hide it. Like I said, I'm transparent about my journey, and there's no shame in the game. And it's just like, also you get tips on how to improve your style and organize your closet so you show up more powerfully. Because remember, I'm a stylist, so you get the style stuff for free, and that's pretty much like worth the whole thing, because I'm expensive. Not to just pump myself up, but you can't afford me on the regular, kid.
Yeah, so, and own that.
That alone is expensive.
Yeah,
there you go.
You're a celebrity stylist. You've been doing it for years. It's not cheap. It's not cheap, but if you can get it on the low with the website, girl, it's worth the investment.
Take advantage, y'all.
Yeah, take advantage. Women Crush Wednesday. I love you so much. Chelsea, thank you. Thank you. If you're still watching, we are so grateful to you for putting together this much needed grief group. If people need someone to talk to, DM me. I am here. I have some resources. Join our women's group. Sorry, guys, can't be part of it. But
this is my one takeaway that I will say, and which has helped me. A lot of people always say, like, call the suicide hotline. That to me is probably the last resort. I think a suicide hotline is really helpful for someone who is dealing with someone who is suicidal. Mm-hmm. A suicide hotline is not something that someone who is suicidal will call. And I have experience with this because of my sister, and I say this confidently. If you are suicidal, reach out to your trusted people and have a code word. So if you're feeling low and you are struggling, like, have a code word. Maybe it's melted cheese. Maybe it's shit day. Maybe and you just text your person shit day or melted cheese or, Justin Bieber. And it could be silly, and they know it's a bad day. I need help. And have each other's contact person or family member or relative in the phone so you can make those calls. But the suicide hotline is helpful for the person who you're dealing with. So if it's like a cousin who is suicidal, you call for the cousin.
I didn't know that.
I think it's beneficial because at the end, if someone is suicidal, they're not going to call the suicide hotline and speak to a stranger. They want comfort. They want to speak to someone they know. It's the last resort. So please consider that if you're going through it. Have a code word and have your people. And I say that with love.
I didn't know the suicide hotline could be for those who have family or friends dealing with it. Yeah. But that's amazing because I think they need help too. Yeah. Right? I think you lost your sister to suicide, and maybe if you had support in knowing the right way to handle it, because we don't know what people are going through, and I love that we're taking a little extra time to talk about this because we're seeing it a lot more now these days. I'm noticing it's in the news, that beautiful Stanford student. And I imagine that must be hard for you too when you see that stuff.
Yeah, because I think of what she's going through, what her family's going through, what the siblings are going through. Because as you know, the siblings are the silent grievers. They're the forgotten mourners, always, in any situation. Everyone always focuses on the parents when the sibling dies. They always focus on the parents, and they're always the forgotten mourners. So, anywho, girl, I love you.
Thank you. Thank you for this. My heart is so full. I'm getting goosebumps. This means I'm in alignment with the people that I'm with. Thank you. Continue to just radiate your goodness. We need you in this world, and I love you so much, and I'll be seeing you soon. We're going to go. Are we dancing? We salsa dancing? What are we doing?
Dancing, cooking. We're doing something.
We're doing something. That's all that matters. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for the time, my girl, and I will talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye, lady.